In the next 5 episodes, I want to introduce you to 5 different methods to capture finely practically panoramas. And I want to discuss them, of course, all in one, which is maybe preferable, which one is not. What I have done here is, of course, to shoot myself here with a cable, how I normally shoot manually panoramas. And I have to tell you, when you do this over a decade already, then I think you know that you have maybe made all mistakes as well on your own. If you just start with that, I'm happy to share my mistakes so you can avoid them, or you run deliberately into these mistakes to see what happens finally. Or you just notice when you do them and you can identify the problem immediately, maybe from others even. Anyway, what we normally try to avoid is just to hold the camera in front of the eye and then move the neck only, because then we have a huge distance to the nodal point, because the axis of the rotation is shifted backwards. Not a good idea. It works, of course, when everything is maybe a half or maybe even a mile away. That sounds maybe a lot, but when you shoot in landscapes and you are on one mountain and you shoot a chain of mountains far away, that's easily possible. And then don't care about nodal point, really. And the stitching should work fine. In the moment something is in the foreground, and the closer it gets, the more important the nodal point is. Even a millimeter can destroy your work when things are very close to the camera. So how to get a manual shot now done without any helpers? No monopod, no tripod, no nothing. The simple answer is you have to fix exactly the nodal point. And exactly is, of course, relative here. What I have in mind is that you put your foot exactly where I have here my black stripes, and you rotate around this area here always. And put me here just a line so you can see this. Let's say here is my organic rotational point. And maybe I have not the best figure here because I have my focus also on the other camera here at the moment. But you see already I'm pretty close here. That's not bad. It's at least much better than to rotate the neck. Or maybe run around and shoot and think, okay, I come closer to this and so on. Any step is a step toward to disaster. Okay, it's not that hard, it's not that dramatically, but in the moment you have a method, and I think to have one foot stable on the floor and you just rotate around this point here, then everything works already much better. And when you know your nodal point of the lens and you have maybe from time to time something that goes just straight down, helps. What else can I tell you? The most mistake that I do even today is that I get mistaken by the stuff that I have inside of my viewfinder. Because when we shoot maybe a landscape with a skyline, so to say, up and down again, there is always that feeling, oh, now we get to less mountain, we go a little bit lower. Oh, now we have nearly no sky, we go a little bit higher. And there is always a movement. I know it and I do it, and I get always upset with myself. Anyway, be aware of that whatever you see, try to keep the camera in the angle that you had initially. And that is, of course, true for the horizontal angle, but also that you don't bank the camera. And I can use here the term bank because we are Cinema 4D users and we know the B in our rotational. Any other than the vertical rotation is, of course, not nice when you want to shoot one time around. When you shoot up or down, keep that angle. I have sometimes the tendency to just move around. Just look to the left and right that I have enough overlap, and then I shoot. I do not look if I have enough in it. I only try to focus that the camera stays exactly in the same angle. because I know I get fooled by that. This is my little tip for manual shooting. Besides that, you have to do it. You have to get used to it. And of course, everyone will distract you. They want to go, they want to have something else, they are in the way, you have to direct someone out of the image, because panoramas are not simple to shoot. There's always someone in the picture. Okay, this sums it up already. Keep it straight, keep it in the vertical line to your big toe, so to say, a little bit more to the body, and you will be fine. In the next episode I will talk a little bit about tripods, and when you want to shoot HDRI, especially with maybe 9 or more exposures, and even with 3, I would suggest highly to have something stable under the camera, whatever that is. Handheld and HDRI, you can do it, and of course sometimes there's no way around, but you really pay in terms of quality, because each pixel should have the right value and not just merged from some algorithm on top of each other. Doesn't work so well. And when you have an idea about parallax, that means that you can see something different behind this little gap here when you move the camera, and really no algorithm that I have seen has done there a good job to really match everything. And that's the big no-no. Handheld and HDRI for technical things. That means when you want to use the information instead of just getting some tone mapping done, then a tripod is a must, or wherever your camera is really rested. So let's have a look to tripods.